a huge welcome, everybody, and a cheers. I'm glad that you took the time to join us tonight. We are going to talk about 3 tangible steps to enjoying parenting. It's going to save you energy, frustration, and time. And in general, these things that I'm going to share, or we're going to share, is also going to be, hold on one second, just admitting, relevant for all relationships that you have. So it's not just your kiddos, but that's going to be the focus. So I want to just start with a question for you. What percentage of your day is managed by your subconscious brain? And you can either like unmute yourself and say it out loud, or you can drop it into the chat. What do you think? Give us your best guess. We're not grading anybody tonight. 90%.
Will you repeat that again? It keeps cutting out on my end. I don't know if it's me or if I should rejoin.
Yeah. What percent?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. What percent of your day is managed by your subconscious brain?
Ooh.
Someone guessed 90%, another guessed probably at least 50%, 70%.
I'd say, fine, I'll say 60.
Okay. So it is actually 95 to 98%.
No way.
Yes, of your day is managed by your subconscious brain. And what am I missing in the chat?
Danielle.
I win. Yes, yes, Daniel, you win. Correct. Yeah. So let's just talk about this. Like, what is managed by our subconscious brain? Because 95 to 98% is a lot, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Sorry, just admit one more person here. Welcome to whoever just showed up. We just mentioned that 95 to 98% of our day is managed by our subconscious brain. So just think about this. You wake up in the morning, you make your cup of coffee, you hop in the shower, you get dressed for the day, you hop in your car, or at least you used to maybe hop in your car and commute, and you log into your computer, eat your lunch, and some of you parent your kids. And literally all of this, 95 to 98%, is being handled by your subconscious brain. And the beautiful thing of that is that it's very helpful. So for instance, when I hop in my shower, it's really great that I don't have to be like, now how do I make this warm again? Or like, I don't know how to do that. Or you look at the bottles and you think shampoo. Now let me read the instructions on what do I do with shampoo here. So it's really helpful that, you know, we have our capacity and our brain has so much power to manage these things for us. However, that also means that we build up our life based on our subconscious brain. So we do what I call our painful parenting pancake. And even if you don't have kids, you're still probably feeling a lot of this. So what do I mean by that? This means that you build your life around pleasing others, right? So the expectations from an early age, whether it was your parents or your teachers, and now you're having many hats on. So it's your spouse, your kids, whoever else you're trying to please. And why don't you throw in the ingredient of a job with maybe no passion or no purpose, and maybe a job expecting you that you don't have family or kids, so you have to pretend like you don't have them. And you're definitely too busy to change things. You are on that cycle, on what I call the treadmill, where you're just going, and you're definitely too busy to enjoy parenting, to sit back and relax and enjoy it. You are having restless sleep because your list is so long, it's forever growing. Throw in some pressures of finance, throw in some anxiety from world happenings. Anybody relate to that? Yeah. How about the energy vampires sucking your blood? Okay, so this is those friends who you call and they complain about everything. They complain, they talk badly about everybody, so you're for sure certain that they are talking badly about you. Or maybe it's a coworker who, you know, is just driving you crazy every time you're around her. She's just literally sucking your energy from you. Then you have stress affecting your health and vitality. This shows up through digestive issues, through migraines, through just, all kinds of anxiety. And you've definitely lacked connection in relationships to the point where you can't really
All right, I'll be right back.
spend time with your friends. And what do? We mix this all together for about 40 years. And don't forget to take a piece of this home to your kids every day. So, is there any parts of this that sound familiar? And if yes, give me a hell yeah. And if you're more polite than me, give me a yes, ma'am.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got a hell yeah.
Sorry, I just had to wipe my kid's booty, so.
No worries.
There's no break. There's never a break.
So we got some hell yeahs and some, I didn't hear any yes ma'ams. You guys are not polite. That's fine. I'm with you on the hell yeah. So what are some of the most painful parts of your pancake? Have a think about that. When you think about, is it energy vampires? Is it just like you feel like you're on a treadmill, just going? Is it a job you're not really passionate about? Maybe you became a parent and, kind of lost yourself. You can share if you want to.
For me, it's COVID right now, and like dealing with school or not, and every day or every Sunday night I'm like, okay, what am I doing with the kids every day of the week? And like in the morning it's like, Mom, what are we doing today? And feeling that constant pressure. It's like summer vacation, but we're limited to what we can actually do.
Yep.
And then my husband will come home, he's like, did you get out of the house today? And it's like, yeah, but not for that long. We're limited to where we can go.
Right.
So that definitely gets stressful. So like
Totally.
Tomorrow we have a play date and I'm like, hallelujah, like that's something big, but like today we went to the park.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is my number one thing right now. So I'm looking forward to starting like a school program with like a neighbor. I don't know. And then with my son, I really wanted him to start too, but I think COVID is really affecting us in that way.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's one that I can definitely relate to as well. Other people put job that's crazy since COVID with the never-ending to-do list. We also got energy vampires, coworkers who are sucking the life out of me with the negative energy. Yeah. So this is exactly why we started the movement that we started, because we were all in the exact same boat. We were, really looking around and seeing a lot of, in particular, women who were just struggling. And yeah, maybe just a little bit of who are we when I say we. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Allison, and I should have maybe just said that at the beginning, but here I am. I'm wife and a mom to a 5.5-year-old gal named Ella. I am a limbic performance coach, and you're going to learn a little bit more about what that means in a second. I'm also a faster way coach, so this means I'm doing nutrition and fitness and all that good stuff. I'm an executive coach. I am a former C-level burnout and a former expat, a wine lover, world explorer, avid reader. And for those on here, they know I love to golf, and I'm just terrible at it. So that's me.
You're much better than me. You're much better than me.
All right. So Linz, tell us about you.
Hey guys, I'm Lindsay. I'm coming to you from Buffalo, New York. I'm a wife, a mom of 2. I have a 10-year-old son, Max, and a 8-year-old daughter, Joy. I'm also the Limbic performance coach and Faster Way coach duo. So I love everything holistic health and wellness. And for me personally, I love sports, grew up playing sports, still love to play anything outdoors, and end the day with a good margarita. That's like a perfect day for me.
Is that what you're drinking right now, Linz?
Water.
Oh,
I know. So fun.
Okay, you're allowed still. It's fine. How about you, Lynette?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lynette Phillips, and I'm coming from right now a stormy Orlando, Florida, the lightning capital of the world. So that's why I muted, because I was like, it sounds like the heavens are coming down. I'm a wife and a mom. I have an awesome husband and 2 kids, ages 9 and 2, almost 3, boy and a girl. I too am a limbic performance coach. Can't wait to share that with you this evening. Executive coach, so I have my master's in organizational leadership with the emphasis on executive coaching. I've had the opportunity to author and working on a second book coming up, a speaker. I work at the happiest place on earth, which is Walt Disney World. So that's me right now, making magic for a living, for a paycheck, and exciting news around that. I love to cook, so I'd love to have folks over. And I'm a believer. My faith drives a lot of my, just ambition to live a great life that can just, honor my faith. So that's a little bit about me.
Yay! All right. So now we are going to jump in, okay? And Lindsay is going to tell you a story. And this is a really, really important story. So, try to listen up because it's going to be the foundation for everything that you're going to learn tonight.
Perfect. Thanks, Allison. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. So like she said, the story I'm going to tell revolves around an elephant and a rider. And if you look at the screen and see this image, this is actually the happy ending to our story, where the rider and the elephant are a unified team walking down the path. But it wasn't always this way. If we go back 6 months, 12 months, the rider, in fact, was so frustrated and angry with his elephant. He could not get him to do anything that he asked. And he knew it was possible. He saw other riders and elephants doing the very things he wished for. So his first approach was to punish his elephant. If you don't do this, no bananas for you. And the elephant was like, oh, well, no problem. I'm good. I'll get my own bananas. So his next approach was to bribe his elephant. Please, if you do what I ask, I'll give you all the bananas you want. And once again, that elephant was like, I'm good. I got my own bananas. I don't need you. So one day, the rider came upon a very wise woman, and she said, I can sense your frustration. Can I please offer some advice? And the rider was like so willing to hear anything she had to offer. And she said, have you tried paying attention to your elephant? Have you really looked for what makes it tick? What makes it feel happy? Have you looked for the things that make your elephant feel scared or excited or motivated or demotivated? And he said, well, no, why would I do that? It's just a big dumb animal. And she said, go back to work with your elephant, pay attention, ask questions, look for the things that make your elephant feel. And so he did that. He went back and he got quiet. He paid attention to his elephant, and he started to notice the things that made his elephant feel all of those feelings. And so because he was paying attention and noticing these things, he was able to work with his elephant, and they connected and they bonded. And day after day, week after week, they were able to accomplish everything that he had hoped. And the rider was so excited that the next time he came back to that wise woman, he was thrilled to share, I've mastered my elephant. So she said, that's great news. Now go back and tell everyone you know. Tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell your community what you've learned so they too can learn how to master their elephants. Now you may be asking, okay, what's the deal with the elephants? We all have an elephant and we all have a rider. And I'm really excited to introduce you to your elephant and rider. So we're going to go inside the human brain. Our brain developed in 3 clear stages. The first is known as the reptile brain. This is our oldest brain. It's responsible for our basic body functions. So regulates our heart rate, our digestion. It tells us to eat, to sleep, to reproduce, to survive. Run away, there's danger. Our most inherent, needs for survival are managed by our reptile brain. So we evolved, and the next part of the brain that developed is known as our limbic system. This is our emotional brain. It's also known as the midbrain. This is your elephant. Welcome to your elephant. The limbic system is essential. It is responsible for storing and encoding our memories and our beliefs. And it's also the driving center for change and motivation. The limbic system is also where, chemicals within the body are released and give us an emotional response to triggers and things happening in the world around us. So again, limbic system, our elephant, our emotional drivers. So then as we evolved more, the next area of the brain to develop is our rational brain. This is our logical thinking and so-called intelligence. This is our rider. So what does this mean? Thanks to modern medicine, we have functional MRIs. We're able to gather information to tell us how much brain activity is happening in real time. So I have a question for everybody. How many active neurons do you think are firing in your rational brain in every second? Any
Just throw a
guesses?
guess out there again.
Why don't men have this? What was that referring to? Why don't men have elephants or brains?
Rational brain.
Rational brain.
Oh dear. We are going to get into that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about those neurons.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Any guesses on how many active neurons are firing in our rational
Just
brain?
throw
So this
something
is
out
like,
there.
yeah, this is our thinking, our thoughts that we have. Any
Millions.
guesses? Any numbers?
1 million, I heard.
1 million, good, okay. 2
2
million, okay. So the answer is, it's estimated between 10 and 100 neurons are firing every second in our rational brain. That
Wow.
may not sound like a lot, but know that that's equivalent to the information processing power of 100 desktop computers every second. Pretty powerful, right? So I'm going to ask you the same question, but in terms of our limbic system. How many active neurons do you think are firing in our limbic system every single second? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Any guesses? You think it's more or less?
1,000.
Makes sense that it would be more. An elephant's bigger. I like it. Any other guesses? 500.
500.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So it's estimated that there are 6 billion, with a B, active neurons firing every second in our limbic system.
Wow.
This is like our subconscious brain. So that is crazy powerful, so massive, so big and powerful. 6 billion neurons every single second. That's 6 billion desktop computers are working every single second.
And this
That's
is
why
maybe-
this is so powerful.
Yeah, this is maybe why, Miriam, you feel like your husband doesn't have a rational brain. That he's definitely more on the 6 billion, and maybe a little less on the other one. Sorry, go ahead, Linz.
Exactly. So what does this mean? Well, that means all that information that our brain is processing every single second is going somewhere. Where's it going? So think of the limbic system like a 5-lane highway of traffic, sending that information towards our rational brain, our thoughts. And then our rational area of the brain, it's also processing information, and it's more like a bike path of information going towards our limbic system. So what we know is that our subconscious memories, beliefs, and experiences that are stored in our subconscious, those emotions, are definitely having a big influence on our thoughts, but our thoughts are having an influence on our emotions, on our elephant. So have you ever tried to make a change, but it doesn't stick? Anybody? Maybe it's, I'm going to go on a health kick, or I'm going to try to be a reader. I'm going to try to go to bed earlier. You're going to make little lifestyle changes. I think we've all attempted, like, we're gonna make some changes in our life one way or another. I'm gonna stop online shopping. That's a tough one. And we could go to the next slide. It can really be a struggle, right? But it's really not an issue of willpower or motivation. It is that you are battling deep-rooted, you're pushing up an elephant up a flight of stairs. So resistance is created through a lack of clarity. And you have an inner battle that we're going to help you tap into. So for example, maybe you're trying to eat healthier. You have an option of some more vegetables, but that elephant in you sees the chocolate cake. It's been a long, hard day. You're stressed out. I deserve a piece of cake, right? Or something that's going to make me feel good about myself. So you have an inner battle happening, and it's pretty tough to win against an elephant. No matter how much you think, I have a plan, this is the right thing for me, this is the logical thing I'm trying to do, it is very much an inner struggle that we all have. And without that clarity of understanding, it can be really, really hard to overcome, and why it's so tough to make lasting change in our life. So let's not struggle with our elephants. So step one is to really understand our elephants. So our elephant, again, that is our beliefs, our emotions, our core human needs, our personal values. And so I'll share an example of one of my personal beliefs, that before all this, I was a perfectionist. I mean, ever since I can remember, I was an achiever. I wanted to excel in school, in athletics. I had to be perfect at everything I was trying to do. And it wasn't like that was the message I was being told by my parents, but certainly things were influencing me that made me think, for me to be good enough, I needed to be perfect. For me to be worthy, I needed to do things the right way. And through this process, I've learned so much. And my biggest takeaway is that I know now, without hesitation, that I am enough.
This is exactly, so when we talked about saving time and frustration and really gaining energy, when you can shift a core belief like Lindsay did, that she needs to do everything perfectly, and I mean, imagine how much weight and how much energy and how much time that took Lindsay to do. And maybe you're thinking, then where do these beliefs come from? So the beliefs come from all of our experiences. But let me give you a prime example, right? Because as parents and as your own parents have a major influence. So let's take a little Jackie. She goes home and she finds her dad in the office. He's working like normal. And she says, Dad, I have my report card. And he looks at it and it's all straight A's. And he is ecstatic. He's like, way to go, Jackie. That's exactly what we're looking for. Just perfect. And you know what? I'm going to stop working. Let's go fly a kite. And I don't know, do you want to go get some ice cream? Yes, Dad. Yes, for sure. Let's get some ice cream. She's so excited. So the next day she comes home and she's like, hi, Dad. Do you want to go out? Should we play? No, I'm working. Next day again. Yeah, sorry. Have a meeting. Can't do it. Yeah, just can't do it today. And this is on repeat and repeat and repeat. And then she gets her report card, her next one. So she's pretty excited, right? She goes home, she goes into Dad, and she says, Dad, I got my report card. And he goes, oh, but you got a B in math. What happened here? What was going on? And she was like, can we go fly our kite? And can we get ice cream? And he's like, no. We don't, no, not B's. You got to go up. You got to focus. Maybe get out your flashcards. Let's work on that math. Okay. This is just an example. Hey, Julia, would you mind muting?
Yep. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Hang on.
it's good I can recognize your kiddos. I'm like, I think that's Michael in the background. But my point is, it's our responses and the praise we give and the attention we give to either good or the bad or whatever, it makes them and ourselves, look at that as depending on that for our worthiness. So it's like she got rewarded when she was perfect. She got attention when she was perfect. So just have a think about that and really like thinking about the different circumstances that you went through yourself that have formed your deep-rooted beliefs. And I will just give one more example that's not so hardcore, but it's around oatmeal. Okay, so for years and years I was like, I don't like oatmeal. No, not an oatmeal eater. My grandma forced me to eat oatmeal when I was a little kid. It was just awful. I don't eat oatmeal. And then I get Lindsay as my faster way coach, and she's like, listen, there's these overnight oats. They're amazing. I'm like, no, I don't eat oatmeal. My elephant was like, no, I can remember. And that's like a 5-lane highway of remembering I don't do oatmeal. She's like, just give it a try. And I'm like, okay. So I gave it a try, and I loved it. And now what I've done is I've literally rewired my brain. Okay. And I will, each time I have that oatmeal, I'm creating that, again, the 5-lane highway instead of the bicycle lane. Okay. So we have that, but we have that possibility to rewire our brain. It's called neuroplasticity. So just, those are my examples. And then, go ahead, Linz.
Lynette, were you going to share an example as well of your personal value story? We just chatted about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've done a lot of work in our home about it. So my husband has been on this journey with me through the process of me becoming a coach, a limbic performance coach, which at the beginning was not recommended, right? It was like, what's this going to do? But it's been really great because as we got clarity and the articulation around values, his number one was connection. And I got to define it a little bit better and show up in my behaviors then supported what connection looked like for him, because it was deeper than just what you would think, like, oh, okay, we're spending time together. It looks like, oh, if I pick the movie and it's my movie night, then that means no phones are around, to the point where I started to change my behavior. I would put my phone in another room. I wouldn't be scrolling. I would try not to bring my work phone around, do any of those types of things at all, just to make sure that I could communicate that connection. And just that simple tweak and adjustment based on him being able to clarify his values and help me define it has been like just key. Like, we already had a great foundation. I really do feel like I married my best friend, but it's just still getting to know each other after like almost 16 years together and 12 years of marriage has just been like really just an awesome experience.
Right. So it's like before he's maybe upset, but he doesn't even know how to articulate what he's upset about, or it seems really petty. Like, oh, I'm, put your phone away. Like, I'm kind of annoyed by this, right? It seems petty, but connection is one of his foundational values. And thereby it's, now you're having a different dialogue about that's the importance of that. And I could say back to like energy is one of my top values. So coming back, Lindsay talked about, the food and how to make those choices. For years, I struggled beating myself up about, food. And the only time I went to the gym was that was punishment. Like, I didn't, I didn't eat right, or I didn't, haven't moved, so it was punishment until I got a complete clarity on that energy is one of my top values. And you know what? Exercising is one of the fastest things I can do to get energy. So that was really important for me. And now it's not a battle. It's like, oh, yes, I get to work out and then I get energy. And that is an amazing end result for me. And same with food. I absolutely know if I eat junk food, I feel crappy and I lose my energy. And again, energy being one of my core values, it's much easier for me to go to the salad or to the healthy options. I don't need, again, it's like working with my elephant rather than trying to push him up the hill all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this clarity that we kind of have said several times. What is going to make such a huge difference for feeling more fulfilled, from a very holistic approach in life and feeling more confident. So we promise that these are all the things that we found made such a huge difference. So again, step 1 is understanding our elephants. And the cool thing is that it's not just us that have elephants. Like we said, our kiddos, they have elephants. And so it's really important for us to also recognize that in our kids, because it's now when they're kids that, you know, we want to know that we're shaping their core beliefs. You know, these are the moments that we can have such an influence and make a big difference. And when we can recognize the emotions that they're having and how we can help them, it can be so, so powerful. But it's really important that I note, obviously, step 1 is getting to understand our own elephants. This is the same thing as getting on the airplane. They say, put on your oxygen mask first before you help others. It's really difficult to make a difference for others around you unless you have a good understanding of your own. So that translates especially in our elephant talk as well. So how can we get to know our kiddos' elephants?
And if you don't have kids, I know there's a couple of you that don't have kids. You
Yeah.
can think about your spouse or your best friend or your sister,
Any relationship.
whomever. So it's like any relationship. Think
100%.
about how can you get to know their elephants, anybody's elephant. It could be that nasty coworker that's driving you crazy and sucking your energy.
And feel free to share any.
Yeah,
in
you
the
can either
chat if you're
unmute
willing.
yourself or,
Yep.
yeah.
And if not, that's okay too. So if anyone is willing to share, if not, we'll go on to the next slide and we're
Yeah,
going to
maybe
share.
Lynette could share her example
Yeah.
of
I've
the.
also learned to be uncomfortable with the pause, ladies, to make sure that we give you all time
Yes,
and the
thank you.
opportunity to
Sorry,
share.
guys.
So, go ahead.
Sorry,
please.
I'm trying to go into my husband's office and get on the iPad.
Okay.
I cannot hear. It keeps cutting out and now the kids are attacking me. So let me just try to get this baby fired up. I'm
Okay.
gonna mute it again because everybody wants my attention, but my husband should be home in 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, you'll just hop on when you
I'm
can,
gonna
dear.
mute it.
Yep.
I'll mute it
We're
again.
recording
Okay.
everything too, so.
Oh, awesome. I was gonna say I'm missing so much of this. I'm really
Aw.
bummed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll be back.
Thanks. Okay, did anyone feel like they have some ideas of how they could get engaged with their other people's elephants?
All right. Well, I'll take the first one, ladies. So it's about my little one, my youngest one. So we started swim lessons. We all know what it's like showing up to the new sports, new this, new that, or whatever. What do we first thing we do? We're going to compare the experience to every other kid that's there. Is mine going to be compliant? Are we going to make it through this? Well, we started out the gate strong. We had 2 awesome first days because you had to go 4 days in a row. Day 3 is a little bit cloudier. She fell asleep in the car when my husband was driving there. I met them there coming from work, and girlfriend was not having it. She didn't feel it. It was not in the moment. Dad took her for a little walk around the pool, all that stuff, and she made it to the edge of the pool. She got on her beautiful Moana swimsuit. She was not getting in the water. The same instructor that she had hugged the day before and was so excited for, she just didn't have it in her. And so one, I felt like there was a lot of pressure from our family because it was her brother there, her dad there, me there. So I made the recommendation, maybe some of us should peel off. Can y'all go home and get dinner started? I'll stay here with her. And I let her sit in her, I'm not feeling it today. She sat on the edge of the pool. She was good. She listened. Every time she was asked, Maya, are you ready to throw your toy in? Are you ready to go swim? Her answer was no. Other parents were trying to cheer her on. You've got this, Maya. There were 2 other little boys in the class. And I was like, I'm not going to put all this energy into forcing her because she had 2 great days, but she's tired, clearly. She was trying to get a little late night nap in, and I did not want a late afternoon nap because she will never go to sleep after that. And I didn't want to hang out with her till 11 p.m. at all because I wanted to go to bed. And the only thing she did was she did the big jump at the end, as if she had participated in the entire class, which I was like, really? Wow, we show up for that moment? But I treated her the same. I didn't want to exert a negative energy for myself and put the pressure on her. I was like, we've got tomorrow. We have to show up the next day. So how I behave today, how she responds to that today will definitely have an impact on what the next class would be. And so, I made that choice and that decision 6 weeks ago, maybe 6 months ago, probably would have been a different outcome. It probably would have been me jumping in the pool, and I can't swim, by the way, in my
Yes.
own, dress and attire, just to try to make it happen. And then I just felt like today's not the day, and it's okay for today to not be the day. And then,
Exactly.
I just hope to continue to honor with her so that she can work through situations of how do I rebound, how do I recover, even, as young as she is. But she did good today. She got in the water. So.
Yeah, no, I think, and
That's
it's such
awesome.
a recent example. So it's like, I love how you had the end game in mind, right? Because just like all of us, we have good days, we have bad days, we have good moments, we have bad moments. Our kids have the same. They have the exact same. And yeah, Lynette had already paid for that day, but how is Maya going to learn to be a better swimmer by throwing her in there and expecting her to perform on a day she just wasn't really ready for it? So I think that's such a great example. Thanks for sharing, Lynette.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we go to the next one?
Yeah,
I
let's do
know
it.
none of you guys can relate to this, but if you just by chance have had a kid who has looked like that, give me
Or seen a
again,
kid
or
that looks
seen a
like
kid that looks like that. Maybe my kid, some of you. Can I get another hell yeah or a yes, ma'am?
Mhm.
I think I've shown up like that as an adult in life.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I was going to say, is that me?
Exactly. Exactly. So we can all think of it. And these are for sure the most difficult times to show up the way we want to show up and to connect to our kids' elephants. And I'm going to give you just a really recent example as well, because I was, meeting with these two lovely ladies and we were having a conversation, and I've been home alone with my daughter for 2 weeks straight as my husband had to be in Denmark. And all of a sudden, I hear screaming from the top of her lungs. I'm up here in my office, which is also my closet. And so I gotta go, ladies, hold on, and I run downstairs, and she's just losing her mind. I think it was kind of like picture number 2 here. And I was like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I can't find the remote. And I was like, okay. Deep breath. I thought you were dying, and the old me would have probably shouted from we have like a open concept, so I would have shouted below and been like, listen, I'm on a meeting, like just stop, like I can't, just stop. And after this program and understanding that she has an elephant, then I started asking the questions like, what's going on? All right, let's find it together. And we found the remote. And, understanding her elephant in this moment is that I have relied on her to watch TV. I have to work. So I am like, hey, sorry, sweetie, I got to work, but, can you entertain yourself? And she does amazing. She watches TV, she plays, she, and so, of course, her remote's gone. That's really important for her. She's watching herself right now. And I'm really thankful for that. So it's again like meeting her where she's at and connecting my elephant with her elephant and just taking that breath. First of all, taking the breath that was needed for me to be calm and to mirror the response that I wanted to show her.
I love that. That's so spot on. I think we've all been there and can relate. A recent one for me is just, many times when the kids come home from school, when they were going to school, get off the bus, and one of them's really upset. Someone was really mean to them or came home from a play date, having like an emotional way out the door, right? And I now can recognize that the mama bear elephant in me immediately goes on the defensive. That what did these kids do to you? Like, who can I blame? who's the problem, instead of taking a step back and asking questions to find out what actually transpired, to get down onto my child's level and ask questions and help them, one, help them understand their emotions, and then also move through it, so they don't get stuck in that place. But it is taking it from the initial immediate emotional response to taking a breath so you can really kind of reassess and then decide, how do I want to teach them how they handle, you know, different things in life? How are they going to be resilient? How can I teach them how to be resilient in these moments? Because I can't make everyone happy all the time, and that's not a mom's job, right? It's not our job to keep everyone happy. Kids are going to feel things. They're going to feel pain. That's not our job, is to prevent pain from happening, but how do they handle it and how do they move through it? And so, did we lose Lynette?
Nope, she's here.
Oh, okay. I lost her on my
here.
screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good girl. Awesome. Okay. Was there any other examples that we wanted to share? Okay, so here we go. So if we want to move from that struggle with our elephant or our kiddos' elephants, it's really important that we take this little breath, calm ourselves, mirror the behavior that we would love to see in our children. And one of the best ways to do that is to ask questions, to connect our elephant with their elephant, so we get to the picture of the two elephants that are connected and bonded and having a loving moment.
I mean, many of you said yourself that like you're the picture of the screamer, right? Guys, I was like literally I was as well, like that, because we've built up our painful pancake. And that's why we say we start with ourselves. Okay. And that's like really, really critical, because once you get that down, you become such a role model of how it can be different, how it can be really, really different. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we want to pause because you've taken a look in the rearview mirror a little bit. We've talked about the painful pancake, but really, what's ahead, right? There's a reason why our front windshield is a lot bigger than the rearview mirror. You know, what would you truly want for you and your family? What does that look like? How do you visualize it? What are the colors? What does it look like? How do you paint that picture, you know, stroke by stroke? So we're going to actually give you, you know, just a couple minutes. If you have something to write it, grab your phone or, you know, something right now to just start to think about those things. And I definitely encourage you to try to carve out 3 to 5 minutes a day, asking yourself kind of that same question as a centered question. Shout out. You just given yourself 2 minutes of peaceful reflection time. It probably felt like a really long time. So imagine giving yourself 3 to 5 minutes. Let's recap. Let's go through, and I encourage you to go back to that exercise, because what you have the power to unlock, that divine power within ourselves. We've learned how big our elephant is and how powerful that supercomputer is. Let's get it off of its factory settings and really get it on a personal level where you can initiate the power of change for generations to come. You know, making sure that your children's children have an opportunity to be able to connect on a deeper level and have that understanding. And that's, you know, be that change that you want to see. Thank you so much. So clarity is key. Understanding beliefs, values, your core human needs, all of that under the surface things that don't necessarily get broadcasted out, but can be felt through our behaviors. You have to have clarity on those. What's important? You have to take the time to get to know your elephant and spend time with your elephant, motivates, demotivates, asking your elephant question, and bringing your own elephant along the journey to begin to speak to other elephants. And you have to invest the time, because so much time is lost when we don't have an understanding of why we're behaving a certain way. What was the deeper emotion? What happened? And we keep getting this repeating cycle. When we ask the question about, is it hard to change? We all have had New Year's resolutions. But what if you actually had solutions and you could really initiate long-lasting change? You almost have to ask yourself, where would I be a year from now if I don't change in some areas that I know are important to me in my life? Remember that vision that we just had in the Purposeful Pause? Because I've asked myself that question, and through the process, I've gotten results. And I'm going to share some of them with you on my own personal journey. I've had the opportunity to learn how to manage my stress and anxiety on such an intimate level. I can name it, claim it, really provide myself the opportunity to step outside of it and be comfortable with it at times, or be able to express, I need this moment, I need a breath, even if it's just to talk to myself. I've had the opportunity to learn self-care without self-guilt. That does not mean I'm doing a spa day every day, but self-care really is, I want to get up earlier in the morning because I want to have some private prayer time or meditation time, or I speak up for myself a little bit more, or I talk about safe boundaries and can tell people no if I don't have the capacity. So self-care without self-guilt. Just a general increase in physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental. You'll notice I never said I was a faster way coach, but I have worked out with these ladies and it's real. But I've had the opportunity to find what brings me joy, which is one of my top values in my type of workout, and get met where I'm at with that. And it's been fun because my husband really loves to get active. So he kind of meets me where I'm at with like my yoga-esque, more relaxed lifestyle. But it's been great to balance those energies, just new experiences and completely different, deeper connections, and being able to talk elephant to elephant on many levels, understand my 9-year-old better and think, am I talking to his rider right now? Or is this rider talk or is this elephant talk? And to me, that's been extremely, it's alleviated so much time and frustration. Living out my dreams. I have one more week on my corporate job before I am saying goodbye to a 17-year career to pursue my dream. And I'm just so grateful for the courage, the bravery is the word that I've gotten a lot. And I wouldn't be in that space or place if I didn't understand and make sound decisions based on my values. It was not an easy decision. It's been months in the making, and I'm ready to run through that door. Which is kind of my next piece, which is really about that clear articulation of values has helped me. So I can say, what does joy look like? What does freedom look like? What decisions did I have to make in my finances to make that dream a reality? And that meant saving, and that meant packing lunches and doing different things to make sure that my behaviors supported the real actions that I wanted. And probably the one that's most important to me is about changing my painful pancake recipe. So it's gone on 5 years since the passing of my mother from cancer, and she was at the young age of 55. And I know that she had her own painful pancake. but ironically, she actually left us her living legacy, was she wrote a cookbook. That was one of her things that she wanted to do. She left us all these delicious recipes of all of our favorite foods that she made for us, but didn't get the time to be able to address some of her painful pancakes. So I'm not going to disguise it as adulting to my kids. I'm not going to say like, you have to have this very, very painful life. It will exist. They will deal with grief. They will deal with anxiety. They will deal with things, but I want to give them tools so that they have that resiliency and they have that ability to pick themselves up. And I won't disguise adulting as something that has to be so negative, by no means. So that's a little bit about what my journey has been like. So I hope that you are ready to take your first step. And if you're much like me, you're probably thinking, yes, 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 but what do I do and how do I get there? Because we could all use a little help in going there along the journey. That's why you've got coaches on the call with you tonight. So what's important is that's why we're here. That's why we have carved out the last couple of months. We had you in mind way before COVID, mamas. I just want you to know that back in 2019, we had set our hearts on building a space and a place and being able to be here and build this community. So we've got you, my own personal coach, because all great coaches have a coach. Allison was my coach through this journey. She's going to talk you through everything that we have prepared to get you going and get you engaged with the opportunity to start your journey.
Wow. Exactly. So let me tell you, what we're going to do is we are going to offer you step-by-step guidance. And again, this is going to be based on neuroscience. It's not on popular trends. And we have done the program with over 40,000 people. So it's a long-standing program. It's been in place for over 20 years, and a program that is 100% recommended and has people saying things like, it's literally changed my life. I feel so empowered. I feel so inspired. I want to do more. I wish I would have done it sooner and saved my years of pain. Back to that painful pancake. I mean, I am so thankful that I pulled the plug on my stressful life to just basically change everything. And of course, I wish I would have done that sooner. Pivot. Pivot's the year. That's the word for 2020 for me. I've never felt so grounded and alive at the same time. When we understand our elephants, it grounds us in a whole new way. One of my clients, as an example, she was like, I got to quit my job. I hate my job. And we worked through everything. We worked with her elephant. And soon she was showing up at work with a whole new level of confidence because she was so grounded and so believed so much in herself and who she was. She didn't need to quit her job. She just showed up in a new way. Or everyone needs to do this program. It's a life changer. And it's the same program that's now being used by the United Nations and helping 20 million people. How amazing is that? And talking about changing generations, it has also changed the entire education system in Lithuania. They did a pilot where they implemented it with one school where teachers got trained, students got trained, and parents got trained. And the percentage of bullying went from crazy to almost null, almost nothing. And they implemented it in every school in Lithuania since then. So you're thinking, what is entailed in this program, my friend? So it is a 12-week group program. And what we do is we start out with a very comprehensive assessment. You take this assessment, it is 20 minutes of your time. And what it's going to do, it's going to pinpoint exactly the areas that you need to change. Because this isn't about replicating my life or Lindsay's life or Lynette's life. This is about making your life how you want it to be. So you're going to take that, and then you're going to get 6 months full access to our comprehensive online program. There's over 20 hours of material that is going to help you work with your elephant and your rider so the two are riding harmoniously, as Lindsay mentioned. It's going to give you step by step, and what we're going to do is when we look at that assessment, we're going to say, this is the things you need to work on. It's right in there. You're going to do it when you have time and when it works for you. And of course, we're going to guide you. So a big portion of this is going to be every second week, we're going to be on a live coaching call with you, okay? Because how many of you have bought the parenting book? How many people of you bought the self-development book? And it's, you know, you read it and you're like, I'm going to change again, I'm going to change, but nothing changes. That is why we're here. We're here to, you know, ask you the good questions. We're here to hold you accountable to the changes that you want to make. And bonus, you're also going to be paired up with another mom or another person who is going to just be that accountability partner and just maybe even the sparring partner as we're all facing these challenges. I mean, schooling for one. Wouldn't it be great to have another mom just to chat about?
Yes.
Or chat with, I should say. All right, and the next you're going to get a reflection guide, and finally you're going to get so many tools that are specifically made to help you go below the surface. So again, this is beyond just your rational brain and your logic. It's going to take you deep down, and I have clients who go back to these tools. For one example is the self-belief tool. Every time she wants a little, you know, a little bit more confidence, she does that, and it just each time boosts her up a little bit. So this is material you can just go back and use as many times as you want. Normally we sell this at $3,247, and I think that is a steal as well, because we're talking about a transformation. We're talking about, you know, going from that painful pancake to living a life where you feel fulfilled, and doing that for your spouse, for your kids, for everybody around you. And we're going to offer that for 3 monthly payments of $266. Okay, so that's a total of less than $800. And this was just a little bit more about how it's going to play out, what it's going to look like. You're going to, again, do the assessment. You're going to have bi-weekly interactions. And at the end, we're going to see, did you get the outcomes that you wanted? Because ladies, we are looking for outcomes here. We're, you know, if at, you know, the end of 12 weeks you come and you say, I haven't, you know, done what I wanted to do, we're going to help you. We're here to help you. And this is just an example of what we do. We have your personal impact map. So at the beginning of each session, you're going to have said, what did you learn? What do you want to apply? What behaviors are you going to change? And then we're going to check in. Again, did you make the changes that you wanted to make? So that, hi, honey. I see another little kiddo in there. So, and there is a possibility. So many people have asked us when we're doing the group coaching if it's possible to also get some one-to-one time. So we have thought about that as well. And you can definitely upgrade your package to add 6 one-to-one coaching calls today. And we're also, you know, giving an amazing price on that. So then your total package would be 3 months of $499. So that would include the group plus these 6 coaching calls. And what you can do is you can just go onto my website. You can see in the chat, Lindsay's dropped the link, and you're just going to pick your option. There's the one-to-one program or there's the group program. And you just add it to the cart. And if you want to pay in the monthly installments, you're just going to click invoice me, and we're going to just invoice you for the $266 if you've picked the group program. And if you are wanting, if you're the person that loves to just make that full payment, we're going to give you $30 coupon. So you can just write in save $30 or save 30 in the coupon if you want to make that full payment. So Lynette, wrap it up for us.
Yes, thank you all so much. To carve out an hour to spend with us is just amazing. Whether you have kids or not have kids, we thank you for your time. We know that we can't go back and start at the beginning again. None of us are going through a rebirth, right? But you can start now and create a new ending. You've worked on your vision. You know where you want to go. We just want to be your guides. So thank you so much for your time tonight.
And just one practical thing I forgot to mention, the first group session is going to kick off August 17th already, so that's coming up really soon. And our prices are good till August 1st, the ones we just showed you. So have a think about it. Go register, make sure you save your spot, because we're also going to keep the groups pretty small in order to make sure that we can, you know, make sure you get the transformation that you deserve. So we would just be open to any questions if you have them.
We'll stay on for live if there's any questions and you want to chat with us or just spend more time with us. And also you can email us at hello@jointhemommovement. You can follow any of us on social media. We're all on LinkedIn. We're all on Instagram. We're all on Facebook. We just want to get to know you better. Anything that we can do to serve you all.
Thank y'all. This was amazing. Really, thank you. It was so good.
Thank
you,
you.
ladies.
So happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks everybody. Yes, you know where to reach us. Just, anytime ping us. And if you have any questions before signing up, let us know. And we look forward to working with you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. So cute. I love when the little kiddos show up.